his job, unlike some other Trump appointees, and now he's out. Why now? What do we know?
Well, it is interesting in this reporting by Jennifer Jacobs and our Arden Farhi to establish that he will be on his way out, along with his deputy, Alex Wong, another individual with really solid, traditionally conservative credentials, particularly when it comes to the national security space, with a history working specifically on the issue of North Korea. In Alex Wong's case, he is the deputy. He was accused in fairly racist terms of certain lack of loyalty, some really shocking allegations by conservative commentators that you heard Jennifer Jacobs make reference to there. Mike Waltz, as you just said, a Green Beret who served in conservative White Houses in the past, who worked for Dick Cheney, who served in Congress, who was serving this country in uniform prior to that, also viewed as having stellar conservative credentials. And there has been a divide between those who are conservative in their view as to how to handle Iran and its developing nuclear program in particular, from those who want to go with this kind of isolationist, non-interventionist attempt at diplomacy, which looks a lot like reviving that Obama-era nuclear deal from back in 2015. And that contingent is being led right now by President Trump's ally, Steve Witkoff, his longtime personal friend. And that personal friend is also at the tip of the spear when it comes to all active diplomacy right now, when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, when it comes to Iran, when it comes to Gaza. He also does not have that background in intelligence, military, or national security space. And that has been the point of criticism from some. And that divide got personal. We have been hearing about that in particular when it comes to this policy. So while Jennifer laid out Signalgate, so to speak, was the beginning of a level of distrust here, the president has maintained no one did anything wrong. So that cannot be the grounds for a dismissal. My understanding is that it is actually going to some policy divides and some frustration on a personal level with Waltz and Wong, but we'll be following this developing story.
Super interesting. It's a window into how this White House operates, the security and the policy debates going on within it. And I wonder, Margaret, in our final moments here, do we have a sense of who a replacement could be? Are there a top three names perhaps that are on people's lips this morning?
I'm searching for those myself, Tony. One name that has been floated was the man I just mentioned, former real estate developer Steve Witkoff. However, when I called allies of Witkoff to say, does he want this job? The initial read was no, he doesn't want to run an interagency process. That is what the National Security Advisor does, helps to sort of curate, collate, and bring decisions to the president's desk. Run a process that helps him make those hard decisions in a clearer way. Mr. Witkoff has really enjoyed a lot more freedom, a wider portfolio, on and off his plane, doing the face-to-face kind of meetings that President Trump has valued. So those two roles and jobs seem at odds. It is not clear who would step into that National Security Advisor role, nor the deputy role. And that deputy role is extremely important in White Houses because that is the support for the National Security Advisor who is deciding what makes it on the president's desk or not.
So we don't know who will be stepping in, but Margaret, we do know who is stepping out. This former three-term GOP Congressman, Mike Waltz, represented Daytona Beach 27 years in the U.S. Army and National Guard, former Green Beret, 4 Bronze Stars, 2 for Valor, worked in the Pentagon under the Bush administration, worked for Dick Cheney within the White House. A very experienced individual, will no longer be providing his services to this White House. That is the news today. Margaret Brennan for us in Washington, thank you very much. Jennifer Jacobs, thank you very much for your reporting there outside the White House. And repeating again, CBS News sources say that President Trump's National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, and his deputy, Alex Wong, they are both out as of today. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7, your local news, and tonight on the CBS Evening News. Some of you will now return to CBS Mornings. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel, CBS News, New York. Football-themed CBS News, New York.
Football-themed edition with 3 remastered games and another with